What is up, guys? My name of course is Carlo. Welcome to another video. And yes, Tuesday I had a heart attack, small heart attack, but needless to say, yeah, I had a heart attack which wasn't pleasant. I didn't sort of get the symptoms that you would normally get, but trying to explain what happened. So I think it was Tuesday that I had during the morning I had a bit of a stressful time. To be perfectly honest, it was a bit of a hectic day. I had some grief off someone, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about. But one of my cast members came down for some talks to discuss the film we're working on, and I think that was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it was Tuesday. We was having a conversation about the film. And I started getting really bad pains in this arm. I mean really, really bad pains. And I was like, what the hell is this going on about? So it was like a radiated feeling, so it still hurts now. It was going up the arm and into my shoulder and into my neck. And one of my cast members who came to, do some work on me. Sorry if I'm slurring because I still feel a bit unwell. It was like, "You alright, Carlo? You alright? You alright?" I was like, "I don't know." My wife was upstairs sleeping at that point. And I said, "Lee, can you give Sarah a shout?" Do you know what I mean? I don't fucking feel right. Do you know what I mean? So Lee's called Sarah. Sarah's come down. What's the matter? What's the matter? I was like, "I really don't feel right." So anyway, I took a couple of painkillers and it seemed to sort of like subside the pain. And I sort of started, I felt a little bit sick, but I started sort of like, you know what you do, like push it to one side, like, oh well, because I've got the flu at the moment, so I literally thought it was all part of the flu. So anyway, I left it, and I've done my bit of business with Lee, so on and so on. Lee went. I think it probably was about 5:30. I started getting the pains again, radiating up and down this arm. It was literally. It was agonising. It was really painful. And I said, "So this ain't saying ain't right here. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel well." I went, and I was sitting here at my desk, sort of hand on my head, sort of like holding my head. I started feeling a bit lightheaded. Then I started feeling a little bit sick. So I said, "Just call an ambulance." Anyway, first response came out, checked me out, and they took an ECG and all that stuff. And they said, "Yeah, your heart rate seems fine. Your ECG showing is fine." So on and so on. But I was still getting this pain in my arm coming up and down my arm. So I was like, "Shit, what's going on here?" Do you know what I mean? I started getting a bit worried about it. So he turned around and he said, "Look, it's entirely up to you, but if it's because I've got a history of having a heart attack when I was 31. If you feel we should take you to hospital just to get you checked out. Do you know what I mean?" So I was like, "Okay." I wasn't going to argue with him. I wasn't going to sit there and say, nah, leave it. I'll stay here. I'll be all right. I'll just have a couple of hours, get in bed, get a couple of hours sleep. I should be all right. I was putting it all down to the cold. You know what I mean? That I've still got. It's fading. It's going, but I was putting it all down to that. So anyway, we jumped in the ambulance. He reattached the ECG to me in the ambulance, and we was on the way to the hospital. He said, "Yeah, your ECG shows a little spike in the ECG." Now I'm not. Physically know what all this stuff means, all this technical medical jargon means. But in essence, he turned around and he said, "I think you had a very, very small heart attack." So I was like, okay, that's not good. So they took me to the hospital. The hospital was absolutely rammed. Do you know what I mean? It was so busy, it was unreal. So anyway, I got seen by a doctor, and they said, they put the ECG on me. As I sat down in the thing to keep checking my heart rate, and the doctor said, "We think you've had, it looks like you've had a really, really small heart attack." So they sent me down for some complete chest X-rays, so on and so on. Come back from X-ray, and they, looked at my X-rays and stuff, and they said, "There's a little scar on the heart." Do you know what I mean? Which indicates you've had some sort of what's the word? Some trauma to the heart, very small trauma to the heart. So I said, "Well, what's all this pain?" Do you know what I mean? Up and down the arm. He said, sometimes it's a symptom of having a heart attack. I said, yeah, but shouldn't it go away, sort of thing? So he's like, well, we need to check that out. So he sent me back down to X-ray again to get an X-ray, complete X-ray of my whole shoulder. Come back, and he was like, it looks like you've torn loads of tissue and muscle in the arm. You've torn it all, which is obviously with connection to the cold and the flu, because I've been coughing a lot. So the coughing's obviously made me rip, the fault of it has made me rip the tissue muscles in my arm, which is causing me the pain, which is triggered off a small heart attack because of the pressure of it. So I was like, oh bloody hell. So I was in hospital for a good 6-7 hours, strapped to an ECG. After about 4 hours being attached to this thing, he come back, he said, look, I'm not really concerned about your heart. Yes, you've had a small heart, you know, it looks like you've had a small heart attack, but at the end of the day, your ECG is coming back okay now, everything seems okay. Your blood pressure is okay. It's a little bit elevated, he turned around and said, and that we can put that down to obviously the tendons being ripped in your arm and the cold you've got. But we're not sort of concerned that you're going to have a massive heart attack following this one. So we're going to sort of send you home so you can just rest, basically. So they've done an injection in my arm for the tendons, and basically I've got to wait for MRI, the doctor to come back to me to arrange an appointment to get an ultrasound on my complete shoulder and my arm, because I have to do some, I think it's steroid injections in the arm to repair the tissue, because this arm, I can't lift it past there, it's literally killing me. So yes, quite scary actually, if not very scary. So I've sort of got to take it easy now for a little while. Even though the videos won't stop, I've been really pushing myself when it comes to this film here, and I haven't stopped really planning it and just getting the ball rolling really. I've had a couple of things happen over the film which has caused arguments. If that makes sense, I've had to sort of sadly let someone go, which I've never done before in my life, which is quite sad. But you've got to think of the project at the end of the day, and I was getting too stressed with it, and that's why I had to let this person go, which is really sad. I still really like them. Do you know what I mean? I've no problems with them at all, but sometimes people were not ready, and they pushed too hard. And it was a case the person pushed so hard it ended up putting me in flipping hospital because of the stress of it. And I'm not going to stress, making a movie in general should be and has always been a really passionate and happy time. And in no way should it let you stress you out. When it starts stressing you out and things start stressing you out, then there's a problem. And that problem can also obviously affect your health, which in my case it did, and it caused me to have a small heart attack. Which is not pleasant, do you know what I mean? It's not pleasant at all. But yeah, it's life. What can I do? I've got to start, I've got to start training for this film anyway, but I can't start training for this film until I get rid of this cold, and until my arm's better, which is a pain in the ass. Sort of put me back a little bit. I've got basically a year, just under a year to train for this film. To basically lose the weight I've literally put on and just beef up for this movie, and it's stressful. I've got a few things to bring to the channel. Like I've ordered these. I've got a couple of these 4 terabyte Samsung SSDs, which one of them is going inside the iMac. Hopefully in the next 3 weeks. I've got a 1 terabyte flash storage in there, but I need more storage, so I'm going to put this one in there. And then I've got another one of these 4 terabytes, which is going to be used as a backup drive for all the footage. So all the footage from my camera is going to be going on one of these, so I can literally edit off the SSDs rather than editing off the 8 terabyte drives, which I've got here. I've got 2 8 terabyte drives there on the desk, which is 16 terabyte. But even though that was good with schizophrenia, the workflow was really, really nice. I want it to be a little bit quicker, so hence they're going to be changed for solid state drive workflow, if that makes sense. So that's basically what happened, and I do want to bring a review on these SSDs very soon to the channel, which is great because these weren't cheap. These were like nearly £900 each, which is crazy. But I think these are real good investments, and to have one of these inside the iMac, and then I'm going to pull the 1 terabyte drive out the iMac, which is also an SSD, link it up in like I want to buy a Thunderbolt caddy for the other 2 SSDs and throw the Thunderbolt into the back of this. Then it'll be pure solid state drive editing, which is what I want. I can't have no slowdown, which should be pretty cool. So there it is, guys. Yes, I'm feeling a bit better today. I don't want you guys sort of worrying. I'm going to be alright. Nothing, you know, it's going to take a lot to kill me off. I'll tell you for that for nothing. But I thought it was quite important to tell you what's going on. And yeah, it is a bit worrying, but don't stress yourself out, guys. It's not worth it at the end of the day. Your health is more important. And yes, I'll definitely catch you in the next video where I've got more stuff on Twinkle coming up. I want to give you some rough ideas of how these drives work in a sort of editing workflow, which should be quite exciting. And I've got some more camera gear coming to the channel. I've got some Zeiss lenses which I'm going to bring to the channel for you guys to take a look at. These are the lenses which are going to be used in the film that I'm making, and plus some more adaptation, shall I say, to the BMCC, which is going to be the camera used for making the film. So I've got some really cool advanced tech which is going to be attached to this camera. And thanks to the recommendation I've got from Film Riot, Ryan sent me a recommendation of a Rode mic, NTG 123. So I'm going to be getting one of them to review on the channel, which is going to be cool. I think it's just my camera setup in general is going to get a bit of a upgrade 2019, if that makes sense. So I need to push this camera to the best of its ability to achieve the shots and achieve the vision within the story that I'm trying to tell. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll definitely catch you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.